Welcome to Game Talk, the show where I talk about games, and today we're going to cover the topic of whether or not Assassin's Creed needs a new Desmond. Now, being the impartial human being that I am, I'm going to focus on the arguments for and against having a new Desmond. So the arguments for having a new Desmond would be that he connected the main story from the past to the present, and he was sort of the looking glass between times. And I remember in Assassin's Creed Revelations there was this part where fucking Ezio was talking to Desmond in the past while Desmond was in the future, if that makes any semblance of sense. Also, while we're on that topic, it made Desmond's ancestry very special because he was the descendant of great assassins like Altair, Ezio, Connor, and Edward. It also helped with our suspension of disbelief because we know this is all science fiction, but Desmond doesn't. He thinks this is all real, which he should think it's all real. But yeah, now that we're playing as ourselves in current Assassin's Creed games, it just feels like I have a really hard time buying into all this Templars versus Assassins nonsense. Also, while Desmond was in the Assassin's Creed series, the Assassin's Creed series felt more cryptic and mysterious, like you felt like there was an organization known as the Templars or the Assassins here centuries before and you're now just discovering them. It felt more, I guess, cryptic and mysterious in that way. The new Assassin's Creed games just don't feel that way anymore. I mean, I can give Black Flag a pass because it wasn't taking itself too seriously and had a lot of levity to it. But other than that, about Unity and Syndicate just didn't have that same levity that Black Flag did. Also, Desmond was kind of like the relatable everyman because we've all been a Desmond at some point in our lives, I'm sure. But yeah, Desmond was sort of the everyman that we could kind of relate to. Kind of. He wasn't exactly someone you want to look up to or anything, but yeah. Also, Desmond came a lot from the first game to the third game. He came a long way in terms of character development, or at least something resembling character development. So yeah, that's another point to Desmond. Some ways they can have Desmond come back, or at least have his lineage come back, is that Desmond could have a long-lost brother, but that would be a bit weak of an excuse because it will be cliche and just very convenient to the Assassin's Creed plot. Or someone from the first civilization could bring Desmond back to life, which again, I don't think they've established that they have the power to do that, but anything's possible in the Assassin's Creed series. But again, like I said before, weak excuse. So now let's look at the arguments against having a new Desmond. Now, you could make the argument, and I've heard this a lot, that Desmond is boring as fucking shit. He is the most boring character on the entire planet. I mean, he has a great voice actor behind him. Nolan North is amazing as Desmond and Nathan Drake, but yeah, Desmond's character itself was just boring. I mean, Shane or Rebecca would have been far more interesting. They have more personality behind him. You could have just replaced Desmond with any guy off the street and it wouldn't have made a lick of difference other than his obvious lineage as a descendant of multiple assassins. Also, you could make the argument that the modern day stuff can be cut out entirely because the modern day stuff just kind of disjointed the whole Assassin's Creed experience. I mean, one minute you're in Istanbul or Turkey or say the Bahamas raiding ships, and the next minute you're in some fucking Abstergo office doing hacking. I mean, the modern day stuff just kind of doesn't feel like it's connecting. I mean, especially Assassin's Creed 4 was arguably the worst offender of this, I feel, because one minute you're raiding ships as a badass pirate, and the next minute you're in an office doing very menial tasks. So yeah, I really wasn't a big fan of that. Also, the Animus can access everybody's genetic memories now, so it kind of makes Desmond pointless, and again, like I said before, it makes his ancestry pointless, seeing as Desmond had a very special ancestry. But yeah, it would be reasonable to assume that technology in the Assassin's Creed universe would evolve to the point where you could do what they do now by accessing anybody's genetic memories. But honestly, who's the modern day descendant of Arno and Jacob and Evie Fry? That's what I really want to know. That's the first question I asked myself when seeing the trailer for both games. But yeah, also, and most importantly, Desmond is fucking dead, so bringing him back to life would be a bit problematic, seeing as Abstergo has his body now, and yeah. But I feel like there is some middle ground to be had here, my friends, and that is if they wanted to bring back Desmond, have less of him and have less of the real world stuff in it, and have him as a more interesting character. Please, Ubisoft, I'm begging you. If you, I'm fine if you leave Desmond out of future releases, as long as you cut the real world stuff out. But if you want to bring Desmond back, just please, for the love of God, have him interesting. Please. But however you feel, I feel like we can. I feel like all Assassin's Creed fans everywhere can agree on one thing. Please, Ubisoft, take a year off from Assassin's Creed and come back with it with fresh eyes and a new perspective, because at this point, by Syndicate, Assassin's Creed is just feeling a tad redundant. And I've heard rumors. Oh, by the way, I've heard rumors that the next Assassin's Creed game will be set in feudal Japan. So maybe after the 2016 game, just take a year off and contemplate, because I've been waiting for feudal Japan for a long time. Anyway, rate, comment, and subscribe. Bye.